I found a study from 1980 that's generally referred to as the Dartmouth Scar Study. The purpose of the study was to understand how people's perceptions of themselves could influence the expectations of how other people would behave towards them. To set up the experiment, the researchers had makeup artists apply small fake scars to the faces of the participants and then showed them their new scars in a mirror. Then they told them to go off for an interview and report back how the interviewer acted towards them. The trick here is that the people with the scars were told that it was the interviewers who were the subject of the study, trying to gather information on how physical appearance affected an interviewer's bias. But the truth was quite the opposite. The researchers really wanted to know how the people with the scars would internalize how they thought they were being treated by the interviewers. In one more act of trickery, the researchers told the people with the scars that they needed a quick touch-up before going into the interview. But during that touch-up, the scars were actually removed, unbeknownst to the participants, who, remember, had been shown the scars in a mirror. So now, people who believed that they had scars on their faces were marched into interviews and asked to monitor the interviewers for any suspected bias in their behavior. When the people who thought they had fake scars on their faces returned, they reported that the interviewers seemed to be staring at them and were very, very tense. Participants also admitted to being distracted by how they perceived themselves, thinking there was something wrong with them, than interested in the content of the interview. So what can we learn from this study? What we can learn is that what we believe about ourselves can change how we see the world around us. If you believe there is something wrong with you, you tend to believe that other people can tell. You become hyper-focused on what other people think about you rather than the actual experience you are having. For example, if someone has told you over and over again that there's something wrong with you, you might come to believe that the rest of the world thinks that too. And then rather than examining whether or not you really have a problem, you may put unnecessary energy into trying to convince people that you don't. Or even worse, you may just concede that you do and that the rest of the world is out to get you. The lesson here is that we should always be thinking about the way we think about ourselves, and that when we come up against negative thoughts about who we are, it's worth asking if this is just a lie we've been convinced of by someone else, or is there real-world evidence that perhaps I need to make a change?